All right, Elle Varner. It's so exciting to see you. I know you for so long, and I'm
I
so
know.
happy to see your face, girl.
You too. You look exactly the same.
You too, girl.
I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying. I'm doing a little something.
Girl, you're on tour right now. It's an intimate experience. I mean, first of all, when's the last time you went on tour?
I got back from tour the day before COVID officially started.
Wow. So
It
you
was crazy.
at least you got one last one in,
I
right?
got one last one. I was on tour that whole time, not even knowing people's face. COVID had started and I didn't even know.
Wow. Did you get it?
I didn't.
Wow.
Nope.
Girl, I got it in that weird time between like the
Mhm.
first strand and the second strand. And then
Yeah.
it was like, oh, we outside, like it was
Yeah,
during that
yeah.
weird time we thought it was
Yeah.
over. And then I
Right.
got it at like a baby shower. It was like the most random place that I got it at.
Damn. But you're good. You're good now?
Yeah,
Good,
yeah,
good,
of
good,
course.
good.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yeah.
So you had just got off tour and then you sit at
Mhm.
home for 2 years, right?
Yes. Yes.
How
I
frustrating is
said
that?
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was so relieved. I'm not because you don't understand. Like, even though people might not have seen me out that much, like in the last over the last couple of years, I did some things here and there, but I wasn't like all over the place, right? But just because you didn't see me all over the place doesn't mean I wasn't working, and I was just it was never ending. I was exhausted. I had, for me, I had exhausted all of my options, all of my mental capacity. I couldn't solve this puzzle. Like, how do I, and I kept on thinking, like, how do I get myself back? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And it's like, and then finally, after sitting down for almost 2 years, it was like, oh, there's bigger things than a career. There's bigger things than just like this is an opportunity. At first, like, I envied the people that were like, oh, I'm about to get my money up. I'm about to, like, people were hustling, starting businesses, doing all kinds of amazing things.
Also
I
scheming.
wasn't. That we're
people,
not gonna talk
people,
about
people were also
that.
scheming.
People were scheming, stay scheming. Listen, it is what it is. No, let me stop. Let me stop. But you know, I just took my time. I took a deep breath. I sat on my damn couch. I binged like every show that I'd never watched. Cause I this is how long I've been doing music. Since I was like 15, I never had a TV because I was always practicing. And then when I went to college, I wouldn't get a TV because I was like, I'm afraid I'll watch it all day.
Hmm.
And then I got an apartment, never got a TV. I got a TV and I
Yay!
watched it. I watched The Wire, Sex in the City. I didn't get to Seinfeld yet. I got through Sons of Anarchy. I love that show.
Hmm.
Anyways, I just got, I it was needed. It was needed.
Do you feel like you've sacrificed your personal life for your music?
100%.
Hmm.
100%.
So when you're sitting down for 2 years, is that what you're thinking about?
Initially, yeah, I started to have that conversation. I was like, I'm in my 30s now. Like, what am I doing?
I
you
think we I
know,
think we're all having the same conversation.
the clock is
What's
ticking. We're
happening here?
talking about eggs and we're talking about hard-boiled eggs and scrambled eggs and frozen eggs. And I'm just like, I don't even I'm not even dating. Like, I don't know, like I ain't got nothing figured out.
Girl, you're in my
Nothing.
head because and it's crazy that we're like in the same place because I
Yes.
went through the same motion, right? And I started
Yeah.
freezing my eggs. Did you go did you go
Good for
through with that?
you. I didn't. Not yet. Not yet. I'm still like, because here's the thing. I have always in the back of my mind, I think I'm a wonderful, loving, nurturing person. I'm wonderful with kids. Kids gravitate toward me. I remember last summer, I was with my cousins at the beach and her friends pulled up. They all had like 2 to 3 kids each, right? These are toddlers. And the girl she has twins. So she's got one on both sides. And she had one other kid. And I was holding the other kid while she was doing something in the truck. I said, after like I said, you do this all day?
Right.
After like 2 minutes. So I was like, man, yo, this is something that I'm going to take it very seriously. God willing, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And that being said, I most likely will adopt regardless. I could see myself doing that for sure.
Yeah, but you never know. Like while I was in the process of freezing my eggs, God dropped a man on me. So it's like I was like, I'm gonna just
So
go
you
do
go.
this, and then God drops the man.
Oh, so you started the
Yeah,
process, and the universe said, okay.
right. That's
Ooh,
that's exactly it. So
that's
we're having
exactly it.
intimate conversation
Yeah, we are.
with
We
Elle
really are.
Varner. And
Yes,
you're on an intimate tour, an intimate
yes.
experience. So as you're headed back out there and you've
Mhm.
done 2 cities about now, how is the
Mhm.
crowd receiving you?
Oh no, I didn't even start it yet. It
No?
starts on Thursday.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no, I'm
God,
going
you're doing all the dates back to back.
back to back.
Oh
Six
my
shows
goodness.
in
How are
four
you going to
days.
do that? Because I'm like, okay, you have
Girl,
Philly on Sunday. And in my brain, you already did like the other 2 dates.
no.
What? Okay,
Listen,
first of
I've
all, we got to talk about who put that together because you're literally going from Boston one day to DC the next day to Virginia the next day to Philly the next day. Are you prepared for
yes, yes. I'm a road warrior.
this?
I'm a road warrior. Matter of fact, on some gangster ish, I drove one of the cars on the last tour. Like I drove the vehicle myself. It was my first time handling everything business wise, and I loved it. I loved paying everyone. I loved, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Because it's you have it, you pay it, everybody's happy, everything's good. It's like it feels good to run a business, and like why I didn't do this 10 years ago, I don't know, but that's part of my journey, it's part of my story, and I think it'll inspire a lot of women too with this album Self, because it's like sometimes we have a habit of putting ourselves on the back burner, our own ideas, ambitions, like as crazy as it could be, that one part that like for the right man, you might risk it all. Like, you know what I mean? You'll be like tripping and or steered in a different direction, or you'll put so much into it. Listen, so that being said, what was the question? Oh yeah, the back to back.
Yeah.
It's actually gonna be dope. I'm gonna get to knock it out in one weekend, then I'll go home for 2 weeks and do the second weekend in Chicago, Nashville, Atlanta. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. This
it's
is
a
this is a
hustle.
huge undertaking. I'm so proud of you. You're going harder, or
Thank
you're
you.
going home.
I'm going. Listen, I realized that like at a certain point, I spent so much time like looking at everything through the lens of like the major labels or the music industry, and like where do I fit in now? How will I and then it was like, girl, you just gotta work. You just gotta work.
Well, you and I met like 10 years ago, right? I mean, over 10
Mhm.
years ago. And you got
Mhm.
Perfectly Imperfect, which is your
Mhm.
debut album. I think the music industry was a lot different now.
It
It
was
was it,
some.
it was it was very different back then. It was
It
the
was.
typical, and it's crazy how much has changed in just 10 years, but it was the typical, you get signed to the major label, you do the major things. But I think
Mhm.
the independent avenues have really opened up since then, where people can
Mhm.
move on their own the way that they weren't able to before.
Absolutely. No, it's crazy. And I was talking about this in an interview earlier. Money Long. Like
Mhm.
for me, that's the second confirmation. I haven't even gotten to tell her this yet. But like when I first saw her over 10 years ago, I was in the gym and this black girl, there was this pop song caught my ear. I turn around and it's this black girl
Yeah.
in pink and Barbie, and like I just lit up because I was a black girl that sang pop music and I loved pop, but there was no examples of that. It's still not really a thing. You know, Fifi Dobson, who else can I name? There just haven't been too many opportunities for women of color, women of other, whatever you want to call it, to have range within their music. Like typically we see black women in hip hop and R&B. But what if they're country singers? What if they want to sing, you know, classical? I don't know. I'm just saying like it shouldn't be confined to one space. And so now we're breaking all those chains, breaking all those barriers, and I'm about to run this up. You have no idea.
I'm so
Like,
excited for you. I think the timing now is good because of what you just mentioned. I think we are people are open to things that are outside of the box. Like when you're talking,
mhm.
I'm immediately thinking about K Michelle and how she literally was like, I want to sing
Yes.
country. And people were like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're crazy. And
Right,
she
right.
literally, like, when I was in Nashville for the opening of the African American Museum, K Michelle was
Mhm.
there working with country artists and artists in Nashville. So she's like doing it despite people saying, like, girl, what are you doing?
Exactly. You have to just do it. You can't really ask for permission. That's what's going to take so many years away. It's going to kill your dream before you get it off the ground. You have to commit to it for you and only you. No one else has to understand it. I'm sure if you haven't seen Kanye's interview documentary
I have.
by now, no, I know you have. I'm
Oh,
saying to anyone watching, like
okay.
anyone who didn't see that, I mean, it's so good, and I just it reminded me, like it was again confirmation. Like I have a handheld camcorder that I used to flip. That was like crazy that you could flip the screen, remember?
Right.
And I would flip it and monitor myself and be like, "Hey guys, I'm Elle. This next song is called blah blah blah," and it was just me in my room,
Hmm.
but acting like I was performing for thousands of people because that's what I said I was gonna do. So it was like, well, I might as well get this on camera because this is what I'm gonna be doing. I just knew that. I had decided it, and I did not get a lot of support initially.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you
I
were
had
always
to
very
convince.
different. I mean, you even like the incorporation of the fiddle and refill. And I remember when you dropped that song and people were like, oh, it's a fiddle. Like, we don't use fiddles. And I'm like,
Right.
the song is
Exactly.
fire. Who cares that it's a fiddle? And we played it. And
Exactly.
it popped.
And that's a perfect example. The fiddle almost got taken out
Mm.
before the song came out. It scared everyone. It scared people at the record company. Like even radio, like how are we gonna be able to? I don't know if we can work with this. And it was like, luckily, I didn't know enough about the music industry yet to know that, like, pretty much go along with what you need. Like, go with the flow. But I didn't know that yet. So I was like, no, we can't take it out. No, sorry. I'll
It
risk
worked
it
out
all.
though.
Like,
It worked
it
out for
worked
you.
out.
We
It
love the
worked out.
fiddle.
It worked out. It worked out. They did.
It's
So,
funny. I was watching the cipher, the Soul Train cipher,
hmm
the dedication to Aaliyah, and it's like, girl,
yeah.
you killed it, and you even incorporated "Can I get a re?" Like that line,
Yes.
and then the
Yes.
crowd started cheering because it's kind of like you brought them back to that moment.
For me to have such right now, I can't think of another word besides strange. It's not necessarily unique, but I would say I've had a rather strange career. Like things don't all the way match up, you know. But damn it, I lost my train of thought. Oh, for me to 10 years later still be so well received.
Right.
Like when I walk into a room, when I go to some industry event, or when I get love from
Mhm.
all the labels, from all the like when I go to radio, and it's just like, yo, my time is gonna come. And maybe I had to go through what I had to go through to have the real strength and real foundation to do this.
Mhm.
Okay, it takes a lot. It takes thick skin. It takes determination, especially again as women. Man.
Yeah, and you brought up Money Long. I mean, I think she's a prime example. I mean, even when I was talking to her, she's been writing music for 10 years, and like
Oh
just
yeah,
all different kinds of genre, and same thing. Like she's writing for Kelly Clarkson, Ariana Grande, and then writing for Mary J. Blige and K. Michelle. And it's like this song just took off on TikTok, and now
hmm
she's like going on an artist tour, so it's
yes,
like, and she's been in, it's like everybody's like, this new artist, Money Long. And she's like, I've been writing
yeah,
for 10 years. Like,
yeah,
that's an example of like the kind of things that can happen given today's musical landscape.
absolutely, absolutely,
So,
hundred
this new
percent.
material that you're working on, because you talked about self.
Yeah,
So, tell me about that.
man. I've never. I don't think I've ever had such raw songs, and I know I have some raw songs like "F It All." Can I cuss or no?
You can do whatever you want, girl.
Okay. Fuck it all. That song was when I really started like going there as an artist and like going as deep as I could, and I was so sad, whatever. Now, this is more like reflective from the perspective of a woman who has experienced, lived, loved, learned, and is still coming into her own, but at the same time saying, "Excuse me, that's not going to work for me," or not even like cat. It's just like setting boundaries.
Right.
You know, it's your world, and you color it how you want to color it with the people you want to experience. And like, just had to dead a lot of patterns. I had to break a lot of patterns. I had to just pull myself up, and it's in the music. It's just in the music. It's it's dope. It's really dope.
So, all this music was recorded like in the last 2 years, or when was it recorded?
Yeah. No. Some of it is a little older. It's so funny because like some of the songs I didn't even realize have multiple meanings. Like where it came from one thing, it took on a whole meaning of something else. You know, I'll talk more about that as it's been a while, even with interviews and stuff. I'm just like remembering what it was like and just shoot. I mean, I better be ready for it though, because it's part of it.
You're ready for it. You were born for this. You've been
I'm
doing
ready.
this since
Of
you
course.
were a kid.
Yeah,
You've just
I
been
have.
navigating the business side of it, which is really the hardest thing to do. I mean, I always say this, there's a guy somewhere that was better than Michael Jordan, and he just
hmm
didn't become Michael Jordan for, all these other
Absolutely.
reasons.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I want to see if I can really quickly.
I
Hold on.
love how you always have your guitar, girl. You just pulled that guitar up like, I'm ready.
Okay. My heart is racing so fast. I've never performed this before. I should have broke up with my ex on a text. XOXO, we should have, that's I'm leaving. I wasn't with you, so I wasn't cheating. I found a better love that I believe in. She fine as hell and give me all the things that I was needing. When I look in the mirror, seeing her a little bit clearer. Gotta clean all my windows. Sage and Palo Santo. Go back in a hot shower. Think about all this power. Look at this lovely woman. God bless every woman. I couldn't belong to you no more. Baby, I belong to myself. And if I'm being honest, it's like, oh well, I wouldn't spend another day on your shelf. I couldn't belong to you no more. I'm out from under your spell. I drink a lot of water, good for my health. Cause baby, I belong to myself. That is not really how it's gonna sound, but
No,
was
you
the
were
best. I'll give you
so
the best.
good. You gave me chills. Woo!
Sorry, thank you.
Oh, I love that.
I hate when I know that's one of the songs. It has a totally different bounce to it, but there you go, guys. When you really get into it, the lyrics, it's just a.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
And
I wrote
I
it
love the
right here
message.
in this
You
chair.
belong to yourself.
You belong to yourself. You belong to yourself, honey.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's it.
That's on that.
I think we need to be, we need to be two individuals that are choosing to share space with one another in relationship. You know, I tell people to dance. I'm looking for a dancing partner.
Right.
I'm just looking for a dancing partner. That's right. All. Like,
so you told me that when you're out and about, a lot of people show you love. Who's someone that has really held you down, like another artist or a writer or someone that has really held you down in like the past 10 years?
Well, the person that I got closest to was actually Mac Miller. And I was in the studio one day in LA. Someone said he was across the hall, and I just walked into his session. I've never done that. I don't do that. And I was like, hi, I just wanted to introduce myself. And he's like, oh hey. He said, can you sing? I was like, yeah, I could sing. He's like, will you sing on one of my songs? I was like, yeah. And so he was like, will you sing on my whole album? He was just so funny, but he was being serious. And I ended up staying like till the next day. He gave me his slippers. He was like, I have, shirts, drawers, underwear, like whatever you need, socks. And it was just he let me come in that session and get right in and work. And that meant the world to me. I've had a lot of challenges. I'm getting emotional. I can't necessarily put it on other people why I didn't speak up for myself more. As a woman, as a female producer, I would be in rooms with mostly men and just never get to really do my thing. Like no one ever asked me what I thought, or, like I would always want to try programming a beat or something, or adding a keyboard part, but I would never say it because the couple times that I tried it, it felt unnatural. It didn't feel welcoming, like all the rest of the guys in the room, that everyone wants to know what they think. And it was more like, oh, you're hot. Damn, she bad. Damn. Okay. Well, really makes that's really great, because I just went to college for nothing. No. But that was part of the reason why I went. That was why I went, because I was like, I have to make sure that I have the vocabulary to do this, that I understand how to do this the best way humanly possible. I need to know everything about this. And, you know, but now, funny enough, just the other day, like even with my dad, I got really frustrated because he hadn't touched the vocals on this song. And usually, once I record my vocals, he goes through the channels. He has his own vocal setup. And I was like, you haven't touched the song, and it's been there for 2 weeks. And I ended up yesterday having to spend about 6 hours, probably 3 of which was me like this, who can barely see, but only I know the edits that need to be made because I sang it. And I'm hearing, like, I could sit there and tell the engineer, move that to the left, move that to the left, but I did it. And then today I realized, oh snap, you produced the whole song.
Yeah.
You produced the whole song,
Mm-hmm.
top to bottom. And I just hired the mixer that I wanted, who's a female, a Black woman. So, you know, this is really exciting for me. And it's like kind of unbelievable that I didn't do a lot of the stuff sooner. But
It has to
it
be
is
at your
what it is.
time. It has to
It
be at
has
your
to be
time.
at your time. It has to be at your time. You have to trust the process, especially now, man. I don't know what it's like to have grown up with social media, obviously, because it started around the time I was in college, high school, college. I'm able to just bloop, you know. Now I'm not feeling it right now, but people are people need to be themselves once again. You need to honor yourself and your own journey and your truth and your purpose, because it's fear that holds us back. We know what we want to do. Most of the time, we know exactly what we want to do. I want to make cotton candy fried pickles. But I live in Alaska, so that's dumb. So I should just choose something else. Or you could go on Amazon and start, buying one item at a time to make some Alaskan fried pickles.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? It sounds silly, but it's like, yo, like you said, man, you started the process. God dropped you a man.
Yep. You gotta start, and then it comes at your time. At the time
really
that's for
does.
you, not someone else's
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the last time I saw you, you were recording in Philly. I know that you do a
Mm-hmm.
lot with Philly
Yeah.
musicians.
Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the artists and musicians that you've worked, because you're
Mm-hmm.
very musical, that
Yeah.
you've worked with specifically from Philly?
Yeah. I mean, we're obviously working with Pop Wanzel, who's from Philly.
Mm-hmm.
His dad, Dexter Wanzel, who contributed to some of the music. It was the Philly soul and like almost the LA, I don't know if it's LA funk, but we just have two very strong signature sounds, and bringing them together at the time that we did, like we really tapped into some special magic. By the way, I mean, I'm just saying we are talking about working again, so that would be fire.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah. So yeah, that whole just walking in knowing that Jill Scott's been in here. Erica Badu's come through here, like all these legends, and I get to be a part of this and walk down the street and get some bomb food and get my hair done like the best, some of the best I've ever had, and boutiques, and just I just love the vibe. I love it. I do.
How would you describe the music, the R&B music in Philly? Like how does it speak to you?
I feel like Philly R&B has a slowness to it that's like it's like a sauce. It's like a roux. You know what I mean? Like it's not rushed. It's a real, you're going to hear a real story. You know, you're going to get some substance in that song. It's going to take its time and really pay attention to detail. That's what I feel about Philly soul and R&B.
Who do you look up to, like artist wise,
Mm.
right now?
One right now, yo, I mean, the first person that came to my mind was Mary J. Blige.
Yes.
For a lot of reasons. Number one, she came to my school when I was in high school and spoke to a very small class in this mentor program. Um, for that day, changed my life. I was like, oh my God, Mary J. Blige is standing 5 feet away from me. And like, even though we were young and maybe not going through some of the subject matter in her music, we were obsessed. You know what I'm saying? Posters all over. So it was like from having that experience, I took on mentorship in a big way. I don't even talk about it that much, but I do it pretty much every year. With Black Girls Rock, I mentor the girls summer camp. I've had mentees, Nija Charles, uh, she's one of the top writers in the industry right now, you know. She was one of my mentees. Who else? Even her can be considered one of my mentees. I spent a lot of time with her when she was younger and helping her find her sound and just working with her, pouring into her, you know. Um, who else? But yeah, those are Mary. I'm definitely looking up to because I just love the diversity of her career. And honestly, I'm at that point. Like, I love music and I'm gonna keep doing it. But I have not tried acting yet. I have not really tried anything else. I can't even imagine what look at us talking right now. Can you imagine a podcast? Like, I need to do this. I love talking. But I love cooking. I don't know if I'm the next Kelly Clarkson or
Rachel
my friend always
Ray.
calls me Elpra, Rachel Ray, or I'll have a motivational home shopping network.
Right.
We can get, music and recipes and relationship advice. I don't know. But I want to expand my brand of love and light. That is the Elle Varner brand. Color, love, light, peace, unity. If you know, I don't talk about everything, but that's really what I represent. Like, I accept everyone. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you like. That's what you like, and I respect that, and I support that. And I feel like people more than ever right now need to be supported and loved. Like, that is the problem. We keep trying to fight fire with fire, and it's never ending. It's never ending. We deal with one problem, the next one pops up the next day. It's the same cycle. How are we gonna? We got to start doing the opposite of what we're doing.
Right.
You know?
I also see that you're on a song with Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa.
Yes.
Why do I
Yeah.
stay high? Why
Why
do
do
you stay
I stay
high?
high? Why do I stay high? So I could teach the world to be a thug in harmony. That's why. I just want to teach the world.
Wait, but how did this song come about?
Okay, so Juicy actually is another one of my mentors. You asked who has been a friend of mine in the industry, and Juicy J is one of them. It is random. I don't even remember how we connected at this point. I just know the first day I worked with him, I had that genuine feeling of comfort, safety, and like ease. Like it's a real thing. It just is. And that you're gonna want as a woman, you're gonna want to be in those spaces
Right.
where you just be a person, you know, a person. Wow, isn't that mind blowing?
And you can feel
So,
safe, like you're not
and
being
you can feel safe.
objectified or, right.
Like I'm not sitting here wasting my time for you about to be like, can I take you out?
Wait, so you're probably not going to answer this, but who has wanted to take you out? That you were like, no, sir. You don't have to
Oh,
answer. You don't have to answer.
yeah, I
I'm
won't
just
answer.
curious
No,
what who
guys have been pretty nice. Guys
okay.
they've been pretty decent, but there's some slick stuff going on. And no, for real, it's not cool. Stop, cut it out. Like just respect the people. Women are people too. This is our place of work.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a metal detector I gotta pass through. I just gotta pass through this little section, this checkpoint. Like, no, let's get rid of the checkpoint. Let's stop this checkpoint. Thank you. Because it's just, it doesn't, it's just when things naturally happen and they're mutual, that's great. But when people feel pressured or uncomfortable where they're trying to do their job, that's not cool. That's all I'm saying.
Someone has put you in
But
that position?
Mina!
Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. I always try to dig. All right, so why do
I
I
mean,
stay high?
yeah.
Why do I stay high? So you worked with
How
Juicy.
about this? We'll revisit this when the album is dropping. Maybe
Oh,
we'll add a little more juice. Maybe we'll, save some for like
okay.
this time. Yeah. But Juicy J is great. He's an awesome guy. Much respect. Crazy Mike, his engineer and producer. They're just a lot of fun to work with. And every time I'm in LA, I pretty much stop by, cut some vocals, hang out for a little bit, and that's it. You know? So I have
Right.
songs with him. Like I'm always down to just he's a legend. He's for real, Oscar winner, Grammy winner. He's a boss and I look up to him a lot.
So you said you recorded some stuff with Mac Miller and obviously stuff with Juicy J. Is
Mhm.
all this music out or is it some of it like not released yet?
Um, the Mac Miller stuff, I'm all throughout the Good AM album.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have vocals on at least 6 songs, if not 8. Um, that is the last thing that we were able to do. We worked on some other stuff, but like I said, we were friends.
Mm-hmm.
We were friends. I have some stuff, I'm not gonna put it out. Like if it ever naturally comes up where I talk to some of his people and if that's what they would want, but I'm not trying to like right now it's just stuff that I have. But yeah, I have a 2 Chainz verse that never came out. I have Chance verses that never came out. I have um probably way more stuff than I could think of.
Wow. So what was it? You just needed clearance? Is that what held you?
No, sometimes it's like you work with people and then the songs don't make it or there's issues with like labels, they sometimes play a part in choosing features or not doing stuff. And I'm not even like, my whole shit has been on the stop and start for years. So that affects everything. That affects working with producers who they want to work with you, but it's like, well, is it ever going to come out?
Right.
So, but it's cool though. I love it. It's part of the hustle. Again, that's Kanye. Like, you gotta be relentless and sometimes be in people's face so they see what it is. So
I know you launched your own label,
yeah, I
how's
did.
that going? And is it easier to like put music out now that you do have that control?
hmm Well, I'm still with E1 for distribution,
Mhm.
so I still work with them on my releases. Like, I have to get a release date. I don't get to just do whatever I want. But
Right.
what I've learned from the last Elevation project and what's happening now is that because I'm doing so much more on my own, like, we booked this tour, my team, everything is starting on our end, on my end. And so they're getting excited. They're like, oh wow, Elle's doing Soul Train. Oh wow, Elle's doing this. And it's like, yeah, and I'm getting to do it now at my own pace, that's not gonna have me burnt out and just wherever the hell I was before. Like, no, I'm not doing all that. It's not that deep. It's
Right.
not necessary. It's not that necessary.
Absolutely.
So it's going well. We got the merch up on the site finally. That is a first.
Mhm.
I sell products.
Look at you, a
Yeah,
businesswoman. Let's go.
girl, it's about time.
Yes. Are you
hmm
seeing that your stuff really moves? Are your products like really moving right now? Your fans
I
support you?
just posted it like a couple hours ago and got the first sale.
What?
So
Yay!
yeah,
What
yeah,
are we
we'll see.
selling?
They're just shirts. They're just shirts and hoodies for the tour. Actually, hold on one second. I hope this doesn't look bad. Hold on. Because
You did just literally just posted it. I love this picture of you.
look,
Okay, sexy. I love it.
it's really fire.
I
And the
love it.
designer, Nicole, she's Nicole Yazzie, she's Native American.
Ooh.
And like, yeah, no, I went down there to Wisconsin for Standing Rock when they were dealing with the pipeline. Remember the protests a couple years back, and I did a concert there and got to spend a little bit of time with some of the members of the community of her tribe, and just like, oh, I just love everybody. I swear, you could put me anywhere on this planet and I will just find some people to love on, and they're gonna love me. That's who I am.
They
So,
will.
but yeah, it's special. So I said to her, put your flavor on it. Put that touch.
I love how I don't know if this is no, this is just my imagination. I was like, are
What?
you behind bars? But you're not. It's just the
No, and actually, I referenced an old Nas shirt from probably the 90s
I love it.
and had her kind of use that as a reference.
Yeah, girl. Now you gotta sell this at the tour.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I am. I'm
That's how
selling
they
it
all
at the
do it.
tour.
Like all the independent artists, they book their own tours, they sell merch, they sell music, they're literally selling meet and greets, selling ass,
Meet and
they
greets. I
selling
should.
everything. They selling everything
I'm
at these
selling
tours,
life
girl.
insurance, y'all. I'm selling. I got them. I got them DVDs.
Right.
I got them DVDs. 4 for 5. 4 for 5. I got
What you
that new
need? You need me
barbershop.
to man your table, girl? I'll
Right,
man your
right.
merch table.
No, come on. Let's do it.
I love this. I
So
love
it's
this
like it's
energy.
like thank you. Yo, the album self. means some energy lasts forever.
Mm.
And this is my soft, powerful blow of fucking bad bitch fairy dust into the ether. Okay. It's about to be like, oh shit. What is that?
Wait, that's the name of your next
Oh,
album. Bad Bitch
what?
Fairy Dust. I love that.
That needs to go on the site.
I love that.
Bad
Bad
bitch
Bitch
fairy
Fairy
dust.
Dust. Make a shirt, girl. Sell it.
Make
Yo, in
like a
Philly,
little
they make
vial.
shirts out of everything, girl. Put it on a shirt, sell it.
Yo, have you been to country cooking?
Yes.
Have you had country?
Sod.
Yo, I follow Sod, and I am like, that is one thing I need that to happen. Like, come on Sunday,
Yo,
I'm
you
working it
really
out.
be in Philly.
No, I really do. My godmother's from Philly too, though.
I met your godmother. I remember.
My
Yes.
godmother, one of my hairdressers was from Philly, and I remember she always used to like break down like Philly girls, Philly dudes. She would be like, she's like, no, no, no. It was funny, but there's an attitude. There's kind of a like, don't. It's beautiful, but it's also like, I might touch you.
Right. Don't try me. Right.
Don't try me. Don't
Right.
try. Don't even try it. And I love that. That's me to a T.
All
That's
right. So
why I
I
fit in
love it.
Philly.
The self-produced, put together
Yes.
tour, back-to-back tour, the
Yes.
merch, the albums on the way.
The mat. Yeah.
And anybody you can talk about that you're working on the album with?
Uh, you know what? This might have no features, which would be kind of a dope talking point.
No, I love that. J.
I
Cole
don't think
does
we've
that.
seen that in a long time. And again, J. Cole is like my weird cosmic twin in a way, because we had such similar paths, but then they're also so opposite. Um, and I just always admire how he took that on early. He took on his business, and look at what. So here I am, taking on my
So
business.
the first single was with J. Cole. I mean,
It was.
I know your career paths have kind of diverged, but have you guys had a conversation about maybe trying it again? Or I just loved how you guys meshed.
Well, listen, there's one song, and I'm not ruling it out. I did send it to him. You never know. Like, people send me stuff all the time, and sometimes, like, remember, did you see when T-Pain didn't open his DMs for like 5 years?
Yes.
That happened to me. and just a couple weeks ago, yo, when I saw how many people supported Elevation, and I did not know, because I didn't see notifications, like celebrities that were posting it. K Michelle posted it, like, you know what I mean? And I just saw all this stuff. And artists that want to work with me, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I lost my train of thought again.
Did you reach out to her and say, my bad, I missed this, thank you so much for your support? Like,
not yet. I didn't. I don't.
How
but
do you
no,
rebound?
No, she ain't tripping. She ain't tripping. It's all love. You know, it's all love. I'll repost the next thing that she does, and pay it back, pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Real quickly, so you mentioned you were like doing other things. I saw that you got a writing credit on a song called Church on Marry Me, which stars J-Lo. Have you been doing that more, like writing for scripts or movies or stuff like that?
So you know what? I'm not gonna lie, like, a lot of the stuff that I've done has been kind of the universe or connections, or but I really want to be doing that. I want to have my own studio. I want to run it just like a kind of like a 9 to 5, you know. We're working on this film, we're working on this soundtrack, we're developing this artist, we're making this album, and that's just the life that I want to have.
We're gonna put that out in the world, girl. Yes.
Put that out in the world.
Absolutely.
and
Girl, I'm so
and a
proud of you.
man
I'm so
upstairs,
happy.
you know.
Right. Let him drop it on you,
Yeah.
girl. Like he dropped that man on me. Let him drop it on
No, I'm saying have my man upstairs,
you.
like while I'm in
Oh,
the studio.
I
He could
thought
be
you meant God.
upstairs. God, drop that man upstairs. Drop that man from my upstairs. So, maybe he'll be a banker or something, so he could be like on the computer, busy, but still at the house. I don't want to. Oh, I need to shut up. I'm saying too much. You bring it out of me. I love it. But no, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Well, I can't wait to see you. I'll be at the show. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited about it. And thank you for your
Thank
time,
you.
Elle. I just always love talking to
Thank
you.
you. Me too.